Hey guys, it's Andy and it's another episode of Deconstructing with Andy. Let's go! So today's deconstruction is on another B.I, the song Flow Away. It was a highly requested song and I'm gonna try my best to break down everything in this song because I've already listened to the whole album and Flow Away is a very, very deep song. So I'm actually really excited to dive in deep and see what he had to say in this song. But before we start, as I always say, what I say in this video, I'm not trying to say that what I say is exactly what B.I meant in this song. Obviously I'm not B.I, so I can't say exactly how he felt, but what I can do is at least try to see what he was trying to say. Alright, so I'm gonna bring up the lyrics on my phone so I don't jumble my words too much. And let's get started. Flow Away, this is a beautiful song, let's go. Bump this shit up. Come on. Yeah, piano, man. Come on, man. That intro, dude. Like, emotionally gets you ready. Oh, that beat. Life is short, 갈 길이 멀어. 일단 내 기억에 쌓인 먼지부터 털어. 멈춰있는 시간 다시 태워볼까만 살아야 하는 이유를 낙서처럼 끄적여. Let's bump this shit higher.
꼬여있는 정신 무엇 위에 그 많은 밤을 세워야 했는지 그 답을 찾기 전까지는 돌아갈 수 없지 특별할 것 없는 사람이었을 뿐 가면 속에 가려놨던 수만 가지 슬픔 이제는 도망치지 않고 마주해야 해 각자 같은 내 껍질들 벗겨내야 돼 away, away, away.
You hear that? Oh my god, bro, that's beautiful.
Flow away, away, away.
Flow away, away, away. Alright. Dude, he said a lot in just that first verse. The first line, Life is short, 갈 길이 멀어. 일단 내 기억에 쌓인 먼지부터 털어. Okay, life is short, I have a long way to go. First off, let's shake off the dust in my memories. Shake off the dust as in, you know, like bad memories. Dust is dirty. So he's saying, oh, I have to shake off all the dirty bad memories. Shake it off. Ugh. Second line. 멈춰있는 시간 다시 태엽을 감아 살아야 하는 이유를 낙서처럼 끄적여. Rewind the springs. 태엽 means springs. Rewind the springs on time that's stalled. So 멈춰 means to stall, like stop. Rewind the springs on time that's stalled. Write down as if scribbling the reasons to live on. Ooh, he's saying write down as if you're scribbling the reasons why you should live on, like I should live on. Ooh. So he uses the word spring and time. I feel like those are the two key words in that line because if you look at like a clock or a watch or you know those grandfather clocks, right? They have springs in there and without those springs, like the clock can't work. It won't work. So what he's saying is let's wind the time. Kama. Kama means to wind. So he's saying let's wind the springs and write down the reasons why I should live on. Oh my god, come on. So he's saying his time stopped. Probably the time when all that bad stuff happened, that's when his time stopped. So now he's saying it's time that we rewind it and we start that time back up. And after that he says, write down as if you're scribbling the reasons why you should live on. Whew. And then the reason why he's using the word scribble and write is because you know when you're about to write something, right? Let's say like in school, like you have to write a report or you have to write an essay, right? Like you write and then when you don't know what to write, you doodle, you scribble, like doodle. Like 낙서 means to doodle or scribble. Like doodle. And then he says 끄적여. 끄적여 means to write. And then he used those two words specifically because he's saying, I don't know what to write. I'm writing, but I'm just doodling because I don't know what to write. Meaning he can't find a reason to write down the reasons why he should live. Oh my god, dude. Oh, Man, when I look at you, B.I, I see so many reasons why you should live. First of all, you're an amazing artist. You can write, you can rap, you can sing, and you're a good human being. Like, every human being makes mistakes, right? There's no human beings in this world that got away with the freaking mistake. Like, they made a mistake. They paid for it one way or another, right? Dude, B.I, this guy is actually really trying to do good in the world. Like, he made that last album where all proceedings went to donations. Come on, man. This guy's trying his best to, get back that time that he missed with his fans. Like, also, like, try to make up for disappointing his fans. Come on, man. Stop it. Leave B.I alone. Stop it. This guy's a genius. And also at the end of that line, he says, "Good job, y'all," and he starts coughing, right? I think that's a play with him saying shake off the dust. Because if you shake dust off, dust goes everywhere and you start coughing. His lyrics, if you look at it visually, it's like this. Let's shake off the dust, so dust goes everywhere. Let's rewind the clock and write down, and then as dust is coming back down, he's like coughing while he's freaking writing, and he's just doodling. Come on, man. This guy is so, like, he's so creative. His imaginations are, like, it's crazy. Oh my god. And another way I could interpret this is, I thought about it, and it's kind of like, he could be talking about his clock, because he did say 시간, which means time, and springs, which winds gears inside that clock. So I think he could be talking about his time. So he's saying, let's wind the clock back and start my time that was stopped. You know when, like, an item hasn't been used for so long, like, it accumulates dust. So he's saying his time stopped for a while, so I'm sure a lot of dust has been, accumulated on my clock. And the moment that I started it, the dust just flew everywhere. And the reason why I think that is because, like, when one bad shit happens, it doesn't just stop there. Usually it's a link, like, it's a chain. Like, one shit happens and then another happens and then another happens and it's just like, it's just never ending. Like, at least that's the way it was for me. Every time a bad, like, thing happened, like, we would always say, okay, like, something really bad just happened right now. Like, I really need to let go of everything and just not do anything because I don't want more bad things to happen. Like, because it's like, it works that way. Like, one bad thing happens after another, and then you feel like you're in a constant loop, which feels like time stopped, because when you're in that loop, you're not moving. You know what I mean? You're not moving. Like, you can't just move on, because just bad things happen one after another. It's a loop. It's a never-ending loop. Like, you're just reliving that moment over and over. His time just stopped. It feels like it stopped. Oh my god, come on. B.I. genius. Let's go. Alright, next line. 언제부터였나 내가 망가지게 된 건 욕심에 눈이 멀고 시선에 목을 걸어. When was the time when I became broken? Maybe referencing that with the clock, because his time stalled, so it was broken. That's why he needs to rewind the springs, because his spring broke or something. Oh my god, come on. His raps seem very simple, right? When you just read the lyrics, it seems simple. It's just like, oh, he's telling a story. But, like, there's much more than that. Like, he has a scheme throughout the song. And then, like, he just sticks to that scheme. And then if he starts a new one, he'll start a new one, and as it reaches the end, like, he'll reference the scheme that he was doing before, and it all links together. So what he says there is, when was a time when I became broken? Blinded by greed, betting my life on attention. So 시선 doesn't mean attention, but 시선 means sight. But if you read it in Korean and translate it into English, it would be more of blinded by greed, betting my life on not sight, but attention. So he could be talking about, like, back in the days when, everything was good for him. Like, he was blinded by greed. He was getting greedy by the day, because it's like, he's getting all this attention, right? And then let's not lie, like, as a human being, when you're getting attention, it's nice. Like, you like that. Like, you get a high off of that, because, like, you like the attention. What human being doesn't like attention? Like, especially when they're complimenting you left and right about how good you are, or how handsome you are, or how pretty you are. And that's why he's saying he bet his life on attention. So with the greed and the attention, he's betting his life on it. Next line. 열등감에 허덕이며 신기로 쫓아간 뒤부터 우울이란 놈이 나를 갉아먹게 했어. Ooh. After struggling with my inferiority complex, chasing after a mirage. 열등감 means inferiority complex, and 신기루 means mirage. 우울이란 놈이 나를 갉아먹게 했어. Gloominess made me gnaw myself away. Ugh. So he's saying he was insecure. At the moment, he was very insecure. And he was chasing after this mirage. So you know what a mirage is? It looks like there's something there, but it's not really there, right? That's a mirage. It's your mind playing games in ways of thinking that you see something there, but it's not really there. He's basically saying he's struggling with this insecureness. And even with that, I'm like chasing after something that's not really there. Oh my gosh. Gloominess made me gnaw myself away. So gloominess is 우울. 우울 means to be gloomy, right? But the way they said it, it translates more to 우울이란 놈이. 우울이란 놈이 is more like this asshole named Gloomy, right? That's how he's trying to say it. This asshole named Gloomy made me gnaw myself away. Oh. So he's blaming this person called gloominess or gloomy. So he's blaming it on his gloominess, which made him lose himself. Amidst of that, he just started chipping away at himself, like gnawing away at himself. Oh my god, dude. So his insecurity led him to be gloomy, and because of his gloominess, he just kept attacking himself. Dude, you need to do better. You need putting more pressure on himself. Oh my god, dude. Like, imagine how hard that is. Because that's what they say, like, as big as you are and the more attention that you get, there's more pressure in your life. Because when you release something, whether it be a painting or whether it be music or whether it be anything, even YouTube videos, like, you gotta, like, as humans, we're gonna think we need to do better than what we did before. But imagine like attention on top of that. Like, you're like this big like celebrity, and then there's all these eyes on you on like, oh, like, I wonder what he's gonna release next or what she's gonna release next. Like, imagine all those eyes on you. That's so much pressure. Like, it's already pressure enough, like, when you're in school and your parents, and those are just 4 eyes, like, looking at you saying, like, you need to study, like, you need to get an A, you need to get an A+, and you need to get into Harvard. Like, that's pressure enough. But imagine as a celebrity, you put out music, there's millions of eyes on you, millions. And then they liked your album, but what about the next album? Now you're sitting there kind of like, okay, like, how am I gonna beat this album? Oh my God, like, the pressure. It's hard. Like, B.I, like, I feel you, bro. Like, I feel you. Alright, next line. 우습게 본 거지 맘만 앞선다고 될 일이 아니었으니. Ooh. I saw it as a joke. It wasn't something that can be done just because I was ahead of my heart. He's basically saying my heart was in the right place, but just because your heart was in the right place doesn't mean that, like, you can do it. You know what I mean? Like, he underestimated it. He thought as long as his heart was there, like, it can work. But he found out that that's not how it works. God damn, son. Next line. 꼬여있는 정신 무얼 위해 그 많은 밤을 새워야 했는지. My mentality is all tangled. For what reason did I stay up all those nights? He used the word tangled here again. Remember in Waterfall, he did say his emotions were like, you know, like messy hair, which are tangled, so he needs to brush out of them. Whew. Same thing here. His mentality is all tangled up. And he has no idea why he stayed up all those nights in the past. Oh man, imagine like I said, pressure. It's pressure. Like, when you're that pressured into something, especially when you're putting that pressure on yourself, like, your mentality is gonna get jumbled up. Like, you won't know. Like, at that point, like, you have no sense of direction. Like, you don't know if this is the way to go, if that's the way to go, because everything now sounds the same to you. So now it jumbles up in your mind. Next line. 그 답을 찾기 전까지 돌아갈 수 없이 특별한 것 없는 사람이었을 뿐. Oh, this is facts right here. What he said right here, facts. I can't go back until I find that answer. I wasn't something special. I was just a human being. Oh my God. Like he said, he can't go back until he finds that answer, right? So he's in search of an answer, and he says, I wasn't anything special. I was just a human being. So he might be basically saying, the me back then thought he was something really special. Like he said, he was greedy. He was, you know, he was seeking attention. He wanted that attention. He wanted more. But now he realizes that he wasn't anything special. He was just human. And he noticed that he was just human because of what he went through, right? Like, those emotions, right? And those mistakes he made, and those sadness And all variety of emotions that he felt at that moment, at that time, is what made him human. Not someone special, but human. Like, if you really think about that, the way he wrote that, it's so beautiful. I'm not anybody special. I wasn't something special. I was just human. If I would have just thought I was human and I knew I was just human, maybe it would have worked out differently. Because he thought he was someone really, really special in his own way, forgot that he's human. Which showed when he went through all those emotions. God, that's beautiful. Like I said, I'm not saying he's not special. He really is a special person. But he's talking about him. He's talking to himself. I thought I was special. You know what I mean? Like, but I'm not. I'm just human. He's starting to realize that, like, whether you're a celebrity or whether you're just, you know, a normal person or whatever, whether you're a doctor or this and that, like, in the end, you're all the same. In the end, you're a human. You're a human. Like, you're gonna mess up. You're gonna make mistakes. You're gonna have emotions. You're gonna feel a certain way about certain things. Like, beautiful. Freaking beautiful. Next line. 가면 속에 가려놨던 수많은 가지 슬픔. Hiding tens of thousands of sorrow behind a mask. The face he wore. He's saying the face he wore back then was a mask, and he was hiding all these emotions behind that mask. So he's saying he's keeping all those emotions tucked inside, deep somewhere in his heart. He never showed it. Alright, next line. 이제는 도망치지 않고 마주해야 해. 가짜 같은 내 껍질들 다 벗겨내야 해. Ooh. I won't run away anymore. I need to face it face to face. I need to strip away my fake skin. At this point, he's coming to terms with himself now. Like, he's realizing that he needs to take his mask off and be honest with himself. Like, he knows that he can't just keep running away. He needs to face it. He needs to grow from it and just, like, not get ahead of himself. Like, keep himself leveled. Like, he realizes it now. And that word realize, like 깨달았어, or like just the English word realize, he uses it a lot in this album, which speaks volumes because he's saying, like, I've learned so much. All these things that I've learned so far, like, I'm not gonna take it for granted. Like, I'm gonna use it to further myself into being a better human being. Dude, B.I, I applaud you, bro. This album, dude, this is such a deep song. What really matters is that whether you want to fix that mistake or whether you want to move on from that mistake and make yourself better. Those are the choices, right? Like, you want to make yourself better and you want to move on. But there's a lot of people out there who still in the end feels like they did nothing wrong. But B.I is one of those people that actually own up to his mistakes and really is saying, yo, like, I did this. And yes, it really messed me up and I shouldn't have done it. But you know what? I'm not gonna, like, dwell upon it. Like, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna look for the answer. And with that answer, I'm gonna further myself into being a better human being. Like, how can you not appreciate this album? Like, I appreciate the crap out of this album. Like, it's one of the best albums I've heard in a while. Like, it's really nice. Like, this album is really good. Okay, so with that said, the next part is just the chorus. Flow away, away, away. Let's go.
Flow away, away, away.
Ah, I love this beat.
누구든 어차피 영원한 건 존재하지 않는데 자꾸만 선을 그어놓고 조금씩 쌓아 올린 병 그 안에 나를 고립시켜 머리에 병 마음에 멍 억지로 막게 몰입시켜 전부 무의미한 바람실 청춘이었다고 넘겨지기에는 잃은 게 너무 많아 우린 배울 필요 있어 진짜 중요한 게 뭔지 치열함 속에 잊고 있던 여유 같은 거 말야 다들 조심해야 해 악마가 손을 내밀 때 인생이 담보라는 것을 인지해야 돼 그들 속의 감정이 점점 잠식되기 전에 웃어야 할 땐 분명히 웃어놔야 해 내 지난 나를 돌이켜보면 불완전해야만 완전해지는 그림 한 품 전부 후회라고 부르기엔 영원했으면 하는 순간도 많았거든 That's why I'm moving on flow away away away
Let's go. What I'm getting from this song is that he's really just pouring his heart out. Like, he's really pouring his heart out into the honest feelings that he has. Oh, about himself, about what happened. Like, come on, man. Come on. It's not easy trying to be honest with your past that you made a mistake in. It's really not easy. Like, it's really not easy talking about it either. But he's doing it like this, artistically. He's bringing it out of his music, satisfying his fans, and I'm thinking even answering some of the fans' questions through his music. Come on, man. Come on. He says, 누구는 적, 누구는 별, 어차피 영원한 건 존재하지 않는데 자꾸만 선을 그어놓고. Oh, who's the enemy, who's the star? Even though forever does not exist, I still draw a line. I'm getting the feeling that like status really mattered to him. Like it really, really mattered to him. Even though, like I said, there's no such thing as a forever. There's no such thing as forever. And he says that too. B.I says that too. And yet he still draws a line, but now he realizes that it doesn't matter. Because like he said, there's no such thing as a forever. Like, whoever you thought was an enemy then might end up not being your enemy now. And whoever was a star then might not be a star now. You know? Like I said, like what he said, there's no such thing as forever. Like someone's not gonna be your enemy forever. Like someone's not gonna be a star forever. You know? Like if anything, that's the reason why there are words like, you know, legends and all of that, because at one point you were the star, but over time, like someone else ends up surpassing what you did. But the thing is, you're not forgotten. Like what you were back then, you were still a star. So that's why now you may not be a star, but now you're a legend. So he's saying there's no such thing as a forever. I may have drawn those lines, but now I realize that, you know, enemies aren't going to be my enemies forever, and stars, whoever the stars were, aren't going to be stars forever. So he's realizing that now. Come on, man. Come on. Alright, next line. 조금씩 쌓아 올린 벽 그 안에 나를 고립시켜. 머리에 병, 마음엔 멍, 억지로 음악에 몰입시켜. The wall I built, little by little, inside it, he isolated himself. A disease inside my head and a bruise inside my heart, forcefully immersing himself in music. Forcefully. And that's what he said when that whole thing happened. Like, he felt like he needed to get more creative. So what he did was, he built these walls inside of his heart. And then he isolated himself inside of it. And by doing so, the thoughts that he has in his head and what was going on in his head ended up being a disease. And because it was driving him nuts and it was such a disease inside of his head, like it became a bruise in his heart. The way he wrote that. Come on, man. Like think about it. At that time, it was a disease inside of his head because it was just beating himself up in his head. And from beating himself up, he had a bruise in his heart. With those emotions going on, he was forcefully immersing himself into making music. Imagine how hard that is. Sheesh. Alright, next line. 전부 무의미한 발악질. 청춘이었다고 남겨짚기에는 잃은 게 너무 많아. Ooh. It was all useless, desperate struggles. I've lost too much to say that it was all due to youth. He's saying the way he acted back then was just useless struggles, like useless desperateness of struggles, like struggling with desperateness. And because of that, he lost a lot. And he's saying, I don't want to blame that. I don't want to blame it on that by just saying like, oh, it was probably because of youth. Like I was young then. He's thinking like, oh my God, like I can't even blame it on that. Like I've lost too much to blame it on that. He's saying that reason is not a big enough reason. It's not a good enough reason because he's lost too much. Oh, goodness gracious. A man. He's a true man. Like he's really owning up to everything he's saying. He's just pouring on his feelings, and he's so genuine about it, you know? B.I. Alright, next line. 우린 배울 필요 있어. 진짜 중요한 게 뭔지 치열함 속 잊고 있던 여유 같은 거 말이야. We have the need to learn what's really important. The carefreeness we forget about inside of something fierce. Ooh, it's true because he's saying when you're immersing yourself in something, right, so fiercely, you forget about being carefree. Like, you're way too serious. You know how, like, when you're too serious about something, there are people around you who kind of says, like, dude, like, lighten up, like, calm down, it's cool, like, this is gonna be fun. Like, but, like, they take it too seriously. And it just zaps all the fun out of the project that you guys are doing, right? Everything can be done with fun. It could be fun, but it depends on how seriously you take it, because you can still take it seriously and still have fun with it, right? And that's what he's saying. He's saying, I lost that carefreeness and having fun with it, and I was being way too serious about what I was doing. I was being way too fierce about what I was doing. You know how they say like, yeah, like be serious and like, you know, have a lot of passion into what you're doing, but like, you know, you can overdo it. Like you shouldn't go overboard. You know what I'm saying? Like you should keep yourself leveled, which is basically what he says in the, you know, in the beginning of the song. He wants to keep himself leveled. Like he realizes that that's what he needs to do. And he's saying those are the things that we really need to learn. You have to realize what's really important. To him, his work is important, but also his sanity and his happiness. That's what's important to him too. You don't have to be the best. Of course, like having the mentality of being the best is great, but like if you take it too seriously, it can really eat you up. And I feel like in B.I.'s case, like I think that's what he's saying. Like it ate him up. Like he, like what he says in the beginning of the song, he gnawed himself away. And I feel like he had to be the best in order for him to keep that attention on him. He's saying that wasn't that was important. What was important is the joy and the happiness that brings to him when he's working, which is music. Come on, at least that's what I think he's trying to say. Come on, man, poetic. Like he's not only talking about what happened and how he feels honestly, but he's also trying to share like his wisdom, so to speak. Like he's trying to say like I learned this from this situation and I feel like I want to share this with my fans. You know what I mean? He's trying to teach us too to see like the light instead of the darkness, or trying to teach us how to feel this way instead of that way, because you don't have to be so serious. Just have fun. Come on, B.I. Thank you, man. Thank you. It's getting to my heart, man. Next line. 다들 조심해야 해. 악마가 손을 내밀 땐 인생이 담보라는 것을 인지해야 해. Oh my God. This is facts. Everybody needs to be careful when the devil puts out his hand. You know, when he puts in like a hand of help, right? But imagine the devil doing that to you, right? He's saying you have to realize that life is a collateral. It's true. When you go into a dark place, you really have to watch out for the devil's hands. Like you don't want to take that hand, because when you take that hand, right, like what he says in here, like life is a collateral. So you're basically exchanging something to obtain what it is that you desperately want right now. Life is a collateral. He's right. Nothing is free in life. Like everything is an exchange of something. You might be really tempted to touch the blade of that knife because it looks so shiny and sharp, but you're gonna pay for it. Like you're gonna get a cut and you're gonna bleed and it's gonna hurt. That's the exchange of you making the choice to touch the edge of that knife, and what you get for that is a cut. That's what it costs you. Like another example would be like driving. If you don't wear your seatbelt, it's gonna cost you your life when you get in an accident. It can. That's what he's saying. Life is a collateral. So really be careful about the decisions that you make, is what he's saying. When he's saying when the devil puts out his hand, like we need to really watch out for that. That's what he's saying. He's saying you need to watch out about the choices that you make, because life is a collateral, and depending on the choice that you make, like trust me, it's not free. Like it's gonna cost you something. So he's saying make that choice carefully. Oh, come on, B.I. Come on, man. Facts, man. I love this guy. Dude, B.I., you an artist. Next line. 그늘 속의 감정이 점점 잠식되기 전에 웃어야 할 땐 분명히 웃어놔야 해. Before the emotions are eaten away into the shadows, when you need to smile, you have to smile. Like don't hide it. It's like the shadows, because it's dark, right? The shadows are dark. Like you don't want to be in the shadow. When you're at that state of mind, your emotions are already being eaten away by the shadows, like dark into the shadows. So when something good does happen at that point in your life, don't think that you shouldn't smile. You should smile. When you have something to smile about it. Laugh about it, because you shouldn't think that you can't smile because you have no right to smile right now. Like I feel like I've had a moment in my life where I was like that too. Like I'm pretty sure everybody did. Like when something happened to you and something really bad happened to you, you feel like you don't deserve to smile. You feel like you shouldn't smile. But no, you should smile. Like if something is there in front of you that you should smile about, like smile about it. Like there's nothing wrong about you smiling. Just because something bad happened to you, you have every right to smile. Oh, come on. Alright, next line. Damn, 내 지난 날을 돌이켜보면 불완전해야만 완전해지는 그림 한 폭. Oh, damn, I look back to those days. The picture was only perfect when it was imperfect. Him having to be imperfect made the picture perfect. Which sucks because he should be at his best into making this perfect. But he had to be imperfect in order for it to be perfect. Oh my god. He was like, his state of mind was not in a good place when this thing was made. And he's saying that's not good. I don't like that. I had to be imperfect for this to be perfect. Ooh, the picture was only perfect when it was imperfect. I mean, that's the way I interpreted it. But if you guys have any other ideas of what he might have meant here, leave it in the comment section below. I'd love to hear it. Oh, I love hearing from you guys. Come on. Next line. 전부 후회라고 부르기엔 영원했으면 하는 순간도 많았거든. He's being so freaking honest. To call it all regret, I had too many times when I hoped it would be forever. He's saying he can't regret it because at one point he actually wanted it to be forever. If he takes it back right now and says, no, I regret it, like, he doesn't want to be a hypocrite, you know? And that's what he says in Waterfall, like, 위선자, like a deceiver, a hypocrite. Like, he's saying, yeah, that's my name. Like, you can call it what it is, but yeah, I can't say I regret it. At one point, I did say that I wish it would be forever. Oh, come on. I'm thinking what he's doing is, instead of regretting, he's just moving on. Instead of dwelling on the past, he's just moving on. He's thinking, yo, like, I already did what I did over there, you know? Like, everything's already done over there. But over here, like, I still yet to reach. So, you know what? Instead of going this way while looking that way, I'm just gonna leave everything over there as is. Because it is what it is. It's already done. So he's saying, you know what? I'm gonna look over here now and work on here. Because everything over here hasn't been done yet. And I'm gonna grow and be a better person as I work on everything that's in front of me here. Not what was in my past. Ah, come on, come on. No. And then it's the chorus, flow away, away, away. Oh. And I think what he means by flow away is like his past. He wants his past and he wants the bad memories in his head and all the, you know, dust in his head to flow away. Just flow away. Like, along with the winds, just go, you know, starting anew. He's moving on. I don't have enough words in my head to really describe this album. It's really good. Oh my god, let's go. Ah, the piano.
내일을 부딪히고 투쟁 차라리 학교가 나았어 현실은 하루하루가 숙제 보이는 게 다가 아닌 세상 저마다 다른 각자 사연들의 깊이와 무게 내려놓은 만큼 가벼워진다는 걸 전부 엎지르고 나서야 깨달았어 다시 맞춰봐야지 어긋난 톱니바퀴들 변이들에겐 축복이다 그래.
Yo, that last part was, I know I said this the whole like video, but that last part was really, really deep. Oh my god, okay. 매일을 부딪히고 투쟁. Every day I clash and I fight. 차라리 학교가 나았어. 현실은 하루하루가 숙제. Going to school was rather better. The reality was just homework day to day. School wasn't that bad. School was actually way better. What was I complaining about? Is basically what he's saying. Next line. 보이는 게 다가 아닌 세상. 저마다 다른 각자 사연들의 깊이와 무게. A world where that you see isn't everything. The stories of each individual's depth and weight was different. I really like that line because us as humans do tend to forget that even though like we may see people smiling in front of us, but that's all we see. So we think, oh, he or she is smiling, so all is good. But that's not the case, right? Like a lot of the times that's not the case. Like in this song, like what he said, like B.I said that I need to take off my mask. I think that's what he's trying to say. He's trying to say like, look, like just because you see someone smiling in front of you, it doesn't mean that's everything. It may not be the whole story. And that's what B.I is saying. Like it's not the whole story. Just because they're smiling doesn't mean that they're happy. Like sheesh, so freaking deep. Next line. 내려놓은 만큼 가벼워지는 걸 전부 엎줄이고 나서야 깨달았어. As much as you let go, the lighter it gets. I only realized that after I spilled everything. Oh, he's basically saying all I needed to do was let go. He didn't even have to let go of everything. He just needed to let go of some things. But then he didn't want to. He wanted to take everything, right? And then when you take that much stuff, it's heavy, right? Like you could have shared that burden with somebody. Like if you were to let's say if we were to say like, you know, we're carrying boxes, right? I'm carrying like 5 boxes, right? Instead of carrying all that myself, I could have shared, or I could have asked for help from somebody to help me with this, and all would have been fine. But only after I didn't ask for help and I tried to carry all of those boxes, only after I spilled everything, only after everything broke was when I realized, oh, it would have been lighter if I would have just asked for help, or if I would have just did it slowly, like just take it one box at a time, you know? So I think that's what B.I is trying to say. Instead of trying to take 10 steps all at once, I could have either split those 10 steps and just went step 1, step 2, step 3 slowly in my own pace, or I could have asked for help in order for me to take those steps, and the burden would have been lighter. But only after I spilled everything is when he realized everything. Oh my god, come on, so freaking poetic. 다시 맞춰봐야지 어긋난 톱니바퀴들. 저기 별이 된 이들에겐 축복이 닿기를. 톱니바퀴들 is gears. What has gears? Beginning of the song, clocks. Clock, grandfather clock, clocks. Those have gears. So he's saying, let's align the misaligned gears again. Bless the ones over there who have become stars. Oh, so he's like, remember what I said in the beginning? He could be talking about a clock and he'll be talking about something else, and towards the end he'll try to end it by connecting it to the beginning, where it all started. That's how genius this guy is. Because he talked about a clock in the beginning. His time stopped. So I need to start it again by rewinding the spring in the gear which he talks about at the end. He needs to align the gears again in order for him to rewind the gears. He's aligning the gears again, trying to, you know, move on and trying to be better, because a gear needs to be aligned in order for it to work. And he's saying, to the ones over there who've become stars, blessings to you. So now, remember, he also said, who's the enemy? Who are the stars? Like he said, he drew a line. Now he's not drawing a line. He's saying, you know what? There's no enemies. There's nothing like that. Like if you became a star, blessings to you, man. Kudos to you. That's what B.I is doing. He's not trying to, you know, draw a line right in between and go, okay, enemies over here and stars over here, and enemies. That's not what he's doing. Now he's saying, okay, enemies, stars, whatever, no line. Like if you become a star, kudos to you, man. I salute you. Good job. That's what he's saying. Blessings to you. Come on, man. This guy became a man. Like he's realizing everything that he did, and he's trying to fix himself to be the best that he can be. You know, I like to believe that every human being has goodness in them, and when they mess up, if you see that they're visually and genuinely trying to be better and genuinely trying to, you know, do better for the world and for himself or herself or for the people around them, like, you can't hate that. You can't judge that. Like, you can't keep judging someone based on their past. B.I is doing exactly what he's saying he's gonna do. Like, he's saying he's moving on, he's gonna be a better person, and I think he has. Like, this album paints the picture, right? For everybody to see and for him to prove, and he proved it. Like, when I was listening to his tracks 1 through 12, like, all I heard was, like, it was so genuine. Like, and that's what I told Jazz too. I was like, which Jazz is here in spirit. She's right here. I told Jazz this too, and I asked her, I was like, hey, like, don't you hear the genuineness of, he's so honest in this song. Like, what he's saying is so genuine. Like, don't you feel that? Like, I feel like I've gotten closer to him from listening to this album. And she agreed. It's true. Like, I feel like us humans have ears, right? And what we hear, we know. We hear and we know what bullshit is. But in this case, B.I.'s isn't. It's real. Like, I really, really feel it. And I can put it down on anything. Like, straight up. Alright, y'all. Flow away. This song was so good. It was such a heartfelt, genuine song. Like, I'm sure all of you felt it too. With that said, this album, I can't say anything more than what I already said about this album. It's freaking good. If any of you haven't listened to it yet, listen to it. It's really good. And if there's any of you who watched this video that might have been confused or might have not gotten what I said, leave a question in the comment section below and I'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. Also, I'm having trouble deciding which song to deconstruct next. I'm picking between Gray, Daydream, and Remember Me. So leave it in the comment section below which one you want to see next. And if you guys like this deconstruction video, please give us a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in our next video, guys. Bye!
Thank you guys again for watching. If you guys want similar videos, you can click on the link right over here.
And if you guys want to follow us on our social media, our links will be right below. And also our Often Alone merch link will be right below.
So go check that out, guys.
Yes,
Bye!
sir.